Hello, everybody. What a day, what a day, what a day we're going to have with Patrick and Trey. Today, we're going to go to my Barnacle Bay water park. I'm adding a few things here. It's been a long time. I built this early, and it's been a long time since I've updated it. But I put in some loungers and a little kiddie pool and some vending machines. I'm even putting in lot traits because I had never done that either. Those didn't exist yet when I built the slot. I had some trouble finding a third one. None of them seemed to work. I guess I just left two. But I pushed through and I get it done. Today's a big day. Of course, as you know, yesterday, Patrick and Trey ended up with a brand new member of the family, a lovely little toddler, Colleen. And she and the rest of them have had a hard time settling in. They're all kind of exhausted by the end of it all. Some low motivations. And Trey decides they're going to all go to Barnacle Bay to have a fun afternoon after his job. Because he has to work coming up this next morning. I already had a job, a gig lined up, and so he's going to go to work. We're going to do this gig, and then afterwards, we're all going to go to Barnacle Bay and enjoy the afternoon, get our fun levels up, right? We're all going to have a good time. Famous last words of any parent getting everyone together to go to a theme park. Spoiler alert. Foreshadowing. They don't have fun. So, but we are settling into our routine, having our leftover breakfast oatmeal here. Poor Patrick is pregnant, and that's the other thing with this show. Hey, the day before yesterday, the family of 2. Yesterday, family of 3. And by the end of today, family of 4. Patrick's having his baby in this episode. So by the end of the episode, we're going to find out what he has. And we're going to have a family of 4. We're going to pick a name out. And it's an exciting episode. It is. It's really a story-heavy episode. I have a build coming up here. It's actually a Maxis build. I actually chose it because I thought, I don't recognize that family name. So maybe that will actually be a Maxis family and a Maxis build. And it was in Strangeville again. So we're going to do a build there for a room. We're going to do a gig there, a decorating gig. Then we're going to go to the water park. Right now they're settling into the domestic routine. And there's an earthquake. I forgot how they had an earthquake. So naturally, first of all, this child her mother is stuck in limbo. She ends up thrown into our household. And then I put her to bed and there's an earthquake. So she's probably already, I need to just start looking around for a therapist. I start looking around for some sort of therapist or counselor because she's probably already got issues. But we get through the earthquake. Trey puts her back to bed. And he's like, don't worry about it. There's earthquakes here all the time. Building hasn't fallen down yet. We lost some pieces of stone off the outside. Maybe a bit of it crumbled. But hey, it hasn't fallen yet. We're going to move soon. So I don't know if does every neighborhood in San Martino have earthquakes? I can't remember. I don't think so. No many earthquakes that I recall. No, we're moving to the arts district. I never had an earthquake there. Maybe I could even take that lot trade off. Hell, I might have put it on there. Who knows? Anyway, they had an earthquake, and Patrick gets woken up all through the night. This poor guy with his pregnancy, he's got to go to the bathroom, and he's hungry, and the baby's upset because she had a nightmare this time. Don't blame her. It was just an earthquake. But the next day, I leave Patrick and the new baby at home while I go do the work, thinking maybe the game will auto lift their motivations to some extent. I don't think it did. And I go to work, and this is the house. This is a Maxis house in Strangeville, which a lot of people know I love the world of Strangeville. It's very beautiful. You can see some of the background there. It's a gorgeous world. And the game pack was a lot of fun. It's one of my favorites. Even though, once you've done it, you've done it. But this is one of their houses. I've never seen the inside of this house. As is typical with me in Maxis and these new games, I just bulldoze. I don't even look at it. Just bulldoze it. Put something else in its place. That's what I did here. So I'm looking at this house for the first time thinking, okay, where are we going to start? We're only doing a room. I decided to go with this front sort of living room, this sort of parlor or whatever. They want a pipe organ again. And they like mid-century modern decor. And they don't like violins. And I'm kind of like, well, yeah, don't worry. I'm not going to put... I would never put a violin in anyway, so don't worry. But I do grab them a pipe organ. And I kind of set to work here with thinking about where I'm going to go with this room as a mid-century decor, right? And I have a problem again where I didn't turn recording on. And I actually got a lot of this room finished. So I went back and did something I used to do for speed builds, and I still do occasionally, where I take a finished room and I basically just delete everything. And then I just run through and put it all back in place. Like click, 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 click it back into place. And so it creates kind of a fast speed build. And that's what we're going to see happen here. I'm just going to kind of go through and click everything as I placed it. You're not going to see any of the sort of selections and stuff like that. And so keep an eye on the room. This is kind of how it came along. For mid-century modern, I fell back on, and it's easy to fall back on, the bowling stuff pack. Bowling night or what. I don't remember what it's called. I never remember what they're called, the stuff packs half the time. But the one for bowling, fall back on that. I grab a lot of stuff from that pack and put in there. And then a few other things from here and there. I think Moschino's in there. The Moschino pack I use to some extent. And the fitness stuff I use. This is going to go along pretty quickly because there's not a lot of choices here. I just kind of go through and click, click, click everything back into place. I did have to sell some stuff. Now, originally I thought about just trying to do it in budget, but I didn't. I moved some stuff to the other room, and then I went through and sold a bunch of it. I think I did not sell the TV. I did leave the TV in the other room on the wall. Everything else from that initial room, though, I sold to create this new room. You can see here, this is where I'm using the Moschino stuff, the wall stuff I used, the wall pattern. The blue matched. The blue worked anyway, so that's how that ended up on there. And it looks kind of mid-century modern. I mean, I think it's actually supposed to be a little bit kind of 80s, but it works. The one part where I kind of have a tough time of it, I put some columns in too. I don't even like using columns because they disappear when you get any closer than this, essentially. But I felt like some columns should go there, so I put some columns in just because. I'm a professional. Yeah, that's fine. You're not ever going to see them when you're playing in game. In fact, hell, I think nowadays if you get too close, furniture and everything disappears. It's probably optimization, so I can stretch out this game with 10-year-old specs that were like 10 years old when the game started, those specs. So I go through, I had some trouble with the curtains, finding the right curtains. I'm not really satisfied with those, but they'll do. They'll do. They're not exactly what I would have loved to use for mid-century modern, but it'll do. And we're done. They'll do, and we're done, and I bring the family back, and voila, let's go in and take a look at this place. See if they like it. What can I say? I fit in a pipe organ to a mid-century decor. And it actually, I actually think it looks pretty good with these before and afters. I mean, it's not what I would have done for this house. It's not the sort of decor I typically would have done. And I don't usually typically say like, oh, I just want a mid-century modern look. I don't usually do that, but I might with steampunk or something, but not much else. So I think for a mid-century modern look, 50s, 60s, kind of 70s, that, yeah, I think it's okay. I think it came out all right. It's definitely different. Definitely different than what they had. They seem to really like it. Okay, they seem to really enjoy it. The weird thing is I didn't bonus anything on this. I just got paid the flat amount and just a regular reputation boost. So I guess they didn't love it. I thought they did. They looked pretty happy. But I guess enough of them didn't. So I take the family to Barnacle Bay. I leave work, get them, we go, and it is just raging. This, like I said, this is real life right now. Basically, like, let's all go to Barnacle Bay. But Dad, I heard it was going to rain up in the city. Nah, come on, get in the car, let's go. So we get in the car, we head to Barnacle Bay, and I'm like, really? Well, I'm not going home. Came all this way, so I go into unlike real life, I go into the MC Command Center, Lucky MC Command Center, and I just changed the weather. This is Oasis. Why the hell's that monsoon season in Oasis? It's a desert. So I changed it to summer and warm, or sunny and warm. Coming up here when we finally get to it. And I can't get that kid back there, first of all. I keep trying to get back here and put the kid in the wading pool. And I shouldn't have left the fountain in it. I just thought the fountain was so cute. I didn't think it'd make any big deal. It obviously makes a big deal. Couldn't get the kid in there. I think the boats were in the way. I had to do a little remodeling after a while because I keep trying here. And then these things keep popping up. I've got this amazing amount of lag coming onto the slot with everybody else showing up and everything activating at once. I've never had before, but we're having a lag problem right now. It's not helping that I'm getting a 24, like with that kid. Blah blah, so excited after playing this video game. Should he like video games? If I'm not playing them, I don't care. What they like and dislike, nothing is what they can like and dislike. So I'm not having to constantly stop and hit things on that. And plus, I've noticed that, they only have to do something like one time in whatever mood they're in at that moment. Then it says, okay, so my Sim's in a pissy mood and I have him go feed the baby. And they're like, does so-and-so not like kids? Well, no, he's just in a bad mood right now. It has nothing to do with the kid. Might not like work. Sing about that one. Might not like work. So anyway, calm down, Jason. Breathe. I got to center that inner child again. He's all worked up because I can't get back here. And I'm just trying for them to have a good time. We have all been there. I'm just trying for them to have a good time. Bringing back my PTSD from my first trip to Disney World with my son, which I love Disney World. I've been there several times before that point. Taking my son for the first time. And I'm getting flashbacks of a day there. A day where he is in a bad mood and he's tired, and his other dad is in a bad mood and tired, and it's the start of the day, and he's 5 years old, and I'm already carrying him because his other dad does not think we need to get a stroller for a 5-year-old. I don't care if they're 5 or 15. Get them a stroller for Disney World. And all I'm thinking at that bad moment is I could have just bought, I spent a fortune to go to Disney World. I could have just bought a case of champagne and a week's worth of Adderall and stayed home and been twice as happy for like a tenth of the cost. And I'm joking. I don't take Adderall. I do drink champagne though. If anybody's wondering, for Christmas or my birthday or Father's Day or my any day gift, that always works. I don't even care what quality it is. Just as long as it pops and fizzes and has alcohol in it. So, that's what I was thinking at that moment. I'm getting like some real flashbacks here, and I'm trying to feed them out of the vending machine. I was thinking, well, this be cute. I'll feed everybody out of the vending machine. I have kind of a cafe set up, but then I have to pay $100 to get someone to come out and run it, and I don't like that. So I think, well, let's just use these vending machines. Well, the kid can't, apparently. The toddler can't eat out of the vending machine. Is that right? I guess. Tried to give her a sandwich, and it wouldn't even give me an interaction to click on the sandwich for her to eat it. So I don't know. Maybe it was just a moment. I don't know did I give her? I don't even think I fed her. I finally, ended up just giving up. And coming up, I'll tell you that story. Actually, I will tell you that story from that infamous day at Epcot, the experimental prototype community of tomorrow, where nothing has changed between families, and despite it being the future. And so I'll talk about that in a little bit, but I finally just gave up like I gave up that day. So it's like dark now, and I finally get the kid into that pool so she can have some fun, by God. In the meantime, I try to have to send one of them to the shower. Trey has to go to the shower because he stinks so bad. Patrick has to go to the bathroom because he's pregnant. Nobody is having a good time. Everybody's miserable. No one's having fun. I had the little girl slide on the slide. Go have some fun on the slide while I take a shower. No, she's not having fun. You know why she's not having fun? Because it's a water park. I didn't tell her we were going to the playground. I told her we were going to the water park. She wants to get in the water. Of course, she can't do it by herself. I have to be there with her because Maxis, because otherwise I'd just like, okay, play in the kidding pool. Don't fall over. Don't drown. It's 2 inches. I know, but don't drown. I'm going to go take a shower. Nobody's having a good time here, as you can see. All their motives are too low. And I go home. It's late. and I think we'll come back tomorrow. We will come back tomorrow to the Barnacle Bay II water park and beautiful oasis. And I just head home. I got to get their motives in line because I can't even have fun and get their fun up because they're not having enough fun. So I want to just send them home and get their motives up. And that's what I do. And then we come back the next day to Barnacle Bay II. And I think that's what I do here. I think I just kind of just don't even bother with the whole at-home thing. We just go ahead and kind of loop from one Barnacle Bay II scene to the next one the next day. Yes. And it's still raining in the desert. Yeah, it's still monsoon season here in the desert. So I do change that again to sunny and warm. And this day does go quite a bit better because I'd changed things. I'd gone into build mode and kind of changed some things around. And this day does go quite a bit better. I actually get that kid in the pool. I actually get Patrick and Trey into their swimsuits. So they're running around in their work clothes because even though this is a pool lot, it said it's a pool lot, when they arrive there, they don't arrive in pool clothes. They don't change into pool clothes. There was just too much on my plate. Yesterday evening with this family and afternoon, it was too much to fit into one afternoon. That's the thing to remember. It's a big water park. It's too much to do here in the afternoon. It's almost too much in a day. So we just skipped today. That's what I did at Epcot. I got there. It's like 10 a.m. I'm carrying my son, who's 5, and I carried him through that whole place. I don't care he was 5. It's a big place. And when your legs are this little, it's a big place. So I'm carrying him. It's like 10 a.m. And we've done Epcot the day before. This is our second day at Epcot. First day, we kind of just did Future World, the front half of Epcot. Today, we're going to do the back half, which is the World Showcase, where all the countries are. And I'm carrying him. And like I said, he is in a testy mood. And his other dad is in a pissy mood. And I'm thinking, thank God this is all downhill to the World Showcase. Epcot, slopes downhill. And I'm thinking, oh my God, thank God, because I'm already tired carrying him. I'm tired myself. And it hits me, Jason, 12 hours from now, when you're leaving after the fireworks to go back to the hotel, it's going to be all uphill. And you're already tired of carrying him. And I just stopped and I'm like, let's just go back to the resort today. Let's go spend the day at the pool at the resort. I don't care how much it costs to get into this place. We're going to have a miserable day. And that's something to remember. If you go to Disney World with a kid that age, plan a day like in the middle just to stay at the resort. Because you need that break. And get a stroller, for God's sake. Get a stroller, and plan a day at the resort. Now I'll tell you this: I had a great time. I do not regret it one bit. I had a great time taking him. I'm glad I took him. It was a lot of fun. And if you're only going to go to Disney World once and it's your big dream trip, your family's big dream trip, don't go when they're that young. He was like 5. He just turned 5. Don't go when they're that young. Wait until they're older so that they can do everything. Because there's a lot of stuff he couldn't do. It's too small. And they'll remember it better. But if it's not going to be your big trip, now I've only gone there twice since I took him that time and then recently. It's only 2 times. It's been about 7 years gap. But if you're going to go again, take him at that age because it was a lot of fun and you really get to see the world through their eyes. And it's amazing. It really is magical. For the first, I love Disney World, but for the first time, Disney World was really magic. And so I definitely recommend it at that age. But plan a day at the resort. We went back to the resort. We had a great time. We ate pizza for lunch. I hung out at the pool bar all day, and he hung out in the pool all day, and we had a really, really, really great time. And I'll tell you, about 80% of the kids that go to Disney World when they do exit interviews, it's a little marketing tip for you. People may think I don't know anything about marketing. I do know a little bit about marketing. And exit interviews at Disney World, 80% of the kids actually will tell you that their favorite thing about the entire trip to Disney World with the castle and the princess and the magic was the pool at the hotel. Okay? So if you can't take your kid to Disney World, if your budget doesn't allow it, and you're feeling regretful about that, don't. don't. Just look up that statistic. Hell, it might have been 85%. And go to a hotel with a pool. And it really doesn't even matter what hotel or what kind of pool. They will love it. They will love it as much as they'll love Disney World. As you just saw there, Trey's excited. Trey's jumping up and down. He's super excited. And why? Because it's time for the baby. Patrick's baby is coming. He's here. So we wrap up. We go to the New Crest IGY Medical Center. And Patrick gets into the baby plucker, the baby plucking machine. And we get to work on getting this baby out. This is the big moment. We get to see, we get to see what Patrick is having for a baby. Oh, boy. Oh, and I'll tell you real quick. When I asked my son, I'll add this on here. When I asked my son going to the airport what his favorite part of Disney World was, because I'm like, we're leaving. What was your favorite part? What's the most fun? He said the pool at the hotel. Just so you know. Now, my favorite part is all the memories of him, but his favorite part was the pool at the hotel. So keep that in mind. He's born. He is born. It's a baby boy. We have a girl and a boy now, if that isn't perfect. We have a girl and a boy now. I named him William after my first cat as an adult, my cat Will. Will was my baby. Will was my little baby. I have a cat now again named Leo, but Will was my little baby. I used to Will would let me carry him around like a baby for just hours, you know. And Will was my little baby. So I named their little baby Will. And I don't know why this is taking so long. I mean, how the hell long did I spend trying to figure out what to name this kid? I don't know. But I do name it William. And then we head home and we're going to settle into some domestic bliss coming up here. Yeah, there we go. Finally, I got it typed in. I guess I didn't really. It was too good to speed up. This is a real moment. There's the burrito, baby. Pluck it out. Drop it in the basket. All the tortilla falls off. And it's a baby boy. But yeah, it was too real of a moment. I'm going to show you my real agony of deciding a name just like a real parent. Not really. A real parent would have decided long before we got to the hospital, but I decided right then and there. It came quick. I mean, his pregnancy came so fast. I mean, I know it is fast. I mean, I've had him pregnant before, but God, it came fast. So we get home, settling into our domestic bliss. And, you know, that's kind of it. I mean, next time they're exhausted. Next time they're exhausted, trying to take care of a baby and a toddler. And, you know, we do another build gig, and I look at getting them another apartment. And I decide, oh my God, are we going to keep Colleen? I know it's kind of morally ambiguous, isn't it? Are we going to keep Colleen, or are we going to take her back? Or am I going to try to figure out a compromise on this one? And then they're going to move. I'm working on their apartment, so we'll have some speed build, maybe some work where I show what I do kind of on their apartment. And through chance, we do the apartment next door, too. I don't know if that's next time or the episode after that, but coming up, we actually end up doing the apartment next door. Because as we're zooming in, I thought, oh man, am I going to just do their apartment as a gig? That'll be convenient. Well, that's not how it happened. I did the apartment next door, but I did a really great job on that apartment, if I do say so myself. A really great job on that apartment, and you can hear Mommy here telling you a spoiler alert. Spoiler, use tool mod and really just blow the place out. So we look forward to seeing you next time here on the RM Cascadian. In the meantime, thanks for watching.